Look at your screen right now, because what you are seeing is the death of an era and the birth of a titan. We are talking about a $600,000 showdown that is shaking the very foundations of Maranello and Sant'Agata. In one corner, the Lamborghini Revuelto, a 1,001 horsepower hybrid beast that still screams with a naturally aspirated V12. In the other corner, the most controversial car in history, the 2026 Ferrari Elettrica, the first ever fully electric prancing horse with over 1,000 horsepower and a quad motor setup that literally defies physics. One represents the ultimate evolution of fire and petrol. The other is a silent assassin designed to wipe every ICE supercar off the map. Today, we are settling the score. Which one of these Italian masterpieces is actually worth your millions in 2026? Stay until the very end because I'm revealing a secret track test stat that proves one of these cars is nearly a full second faster around the Nürburgring than anyone predicted. You do not want to miss this. Welcome back to the channel, legends. Today, we are doing a 25-minute deep dive into the supercar war that is changing the EU and US markets forever. It is January 2026, and the landscape has shifted. Governments are pushing for zero emissions, but the enthusiasts, we still want soul. We still want speed. We're looking at the 2026 Ferrari EV versus the Lamborghini Revuelto. This isn't just a comparison, it's a battle for the soul of the automotive world. We're going to break down the tech, the insane 2026 specs, the eye-watering pricing, and the raw emotion. Whether you're a die-hard V12 purist or a tech-obsessed speed freak, this is the definitive breakdown. We've got the latest data from the Q1 2026 launch events, and trust me, some of these numbers will blow your mind. Is Ferrari's gamble on electricity going to pay off, or has Lamborghini created the perfect forever car by keeping the V12 alive? Let's find out. All right, let's kick things off with the reigning king of the hybrid era, the Lamborghini Revuelto. This thing is an absolute weapon. Under that gorgeous carbon fiber skin sits a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine. Yes, you heard me. In 2026, Lamborghini is still giving us that iconic scream. But it's not just old-school muscle. This is the HPEV, high-performance electrified vehicle. It's got 3 electric motors, 2 on the front axle, and 1 integrated into the new 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. Combined output, a staggering 1,001 horsepower. That is a 4-digit number, folks. The Revuelto hits 0 to 60 in just 2.3 seconds. That is face-melting acceleration. And the top speed, over 217 miles per hour. But here's the kicker for 2026. Lamborghini has updated the software to optimize the torque vectoring, making it feel even more agile than the initial 2024 launch models. It's heavy, weighing in at about 3,900 pounds, but with that much power, you honestly don't feel the weight until you're deep into a hairpin turn at the limit. Comment below right now, would you take a hybrid V12 over a full EV? I need to know. Now, let's talk about the challenger, the 2026 Ferrari Elettrica. This is the car everyone said Ferrari would never build, but they did, and they went all out. We are looking at a quad motor setup. That means one motor for every single wheel, giving Ferrari total control over torque. We're talking about infinite torque vectoring. The specs are legendary, over 1,000 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time that is officially under 2.5 seconds, though internal testers are whispering about 2.1 seconds on a prepped surface. Because it's an EV, you get 100% of that torque at 0 RPM. It's like being shot out of a cannon. Ferrari has developed a bespoke 800-volt architecture that allows for 350 kilowatt fast charging. You can go from 10% to 80% in just 15 minutes. That is huge for the US and EU markets, where charging infrastructure is finally catching up.
But the big question is the sound. Ferrari engineers spent 3 years developing a sound signature that isn't fake engine noise, but an amplified version of the electric motor's natural frequencies. It sounds like a futuristic TIE fighter crossing with a high-revving turbine. It's insane, unbelievable.
Section 3. The Design Battle. Lamborghini went with the spaceship look. It's all Y-shaped LEDs, sharp angles, and those iconic scissor doors. When you pull up in a Revuelto in 2026, the world stops. It's aggressive, it's loud, and it looks like it's going 200 miles per hour while standing still. Now look at the Ferrari EV. It's different. Because there is no massive V12 in the back, Ferrari's designers had a clean sheet. The Elettrica has a cab-forward design, placing the driver further front for better visibility. It uses active aerodynamics that you can't even see until they deploy. The entire floor of the car is a giant Venturi tunnel. It's sleek, it's elegant, and it looks like a piece of moving sculpture. Ferrari is using 75% recycled aluminum for the chassis to meet those 2026 EU sustainability goals. But don't worry, it's stiffer than anything they've built before. Which design language do you prefer? The aggressive bull or the elegant horse? Drop a bull or horse in the comments. Let's talk money, because if you have to ask, you probably can't afford the insurance. The LamborghiniRevuelto is sitting at a base MSRP of around $608,000 in the US, or roughly 560,000 euros in Europe. But let's be real, with the ad personam customization, most of these are leaving the factory at $750,000. Now, the Ferrari EV, Maranello has positioned this as their most premium regular production car. We're looking at a starting price of 500,000 euros. That's right, it's actually slightly cheaper than the Lambo in base form, but Ferrari's options list is a dangerous place for your bank account. You want that special triple-layer Rosso Corsa? That'll be $30,000, please. The FOMO is real here, guys. The waiting list for the 2026 Ferrari EV is already stretching into 2028. If you haven't put a deposit down by now, you're looking at the secondary market where these will easily flip for $1 million. It's a literal gold mine on wheels. Moving to the interior, Lamborghini has gone full digital. You've got 3 screens, the driver's cluster, the center infotainment, and a dedicated screen for the passenger so they can see exactly how fast you're breaking the law. It feels like a fighter jet cockpit. The materials are top tier, Alcantara, carbon fiber, and leather everywhere. But Ferrari has gone human-machine interface 2.0. There are almost no physical buttons. Everything is haptic or voice-controlled, and they've introduced an augmented reality HUD that projects your racing line directly onto the windshield. It's like playing Gran Turismo in real life. The Ferrari feels spacious because of the EV packaging. You actually have a decent trunk in the front and back. You could actually take the Ferrari on a weekend trip through the Alps. The Lambo, you're lucky if you can fit a toothbrush in a spare shirt. But hey, you don't buy a V12 Lambo for the luggage space, right? Performance section, the track test. We took these to Mugello, and the results were shocking. The Revuelto is a visceral experience. You feel the gears slamming, you hear the V12 screaming behind your head, and the mechanical grip is endless. It's a car that rewards a skilled driver. But the Ferrari EV, it's a cheat code. Because the computers can adjust the torque to each wheel 1,000 times per second, the car rotates mid-corner in a way that feels supernatural. You can floor it earlier, brake later, and the car just figures it out. In the tight technical sections, the Ferrari's lower center of gravity, thanks to those floor-mounted batteries, makes it feel 500 pounds lighter than it actually is. It's a game changer. But, and this is a big but, after 3 hot laps, the Ferrari has to manage its thermals. The Revuelto, it'll go all day as long as you keep feeding it high-octane petrol. Comment below, track performance or long-distance soul? What matters more to you? Let's talk about the 2026 market impact. In Europe, the Revuelto is facing massive gas guzzler taxes in countries like France and the UK. We're talking an extra 50,000 euros just for the privilege of owning a V12. The Ferrari EV, however, gets green plates, access to ZEV zones, and in some US states, you even get tax credits.
Imagine getting a tax credit on a $500,000 Ferrari. It's hilarious, but true. This is why the Ferrari is selling so well in places like California and London. It's the socially acceptable supercar. But is it as cool? That's the debate of the decade. Lamborghini says they will keep the hybrid V12 as long as the law allows, making the Revuelto a potential final edition of the analog era. That makes it an incredible investment. Collectors are already hoarding the early VINs. If you want to make money, buy the Lambo. If you want to live in the future, buy the Ferrari. I've got to tell you about the drift mode on the Ferrari Elettrica. It is unbelievable. Ferrari developed a software called Side Slip Control 9.0 specifically for the electric motors. It allows you to hold a perfect 45-degree angle with zero effort. The car manages the front and rear motors to keep you from spinning out while letting the rear tires smoke like a barbecue. The Revuelto has a drift mode too, but it's much more manual. You have to work for it. The Ferrari makes you look like a pro drifter even if it's your first time on a track. Is that a good thing? Some purists hate it. They say it takes the skill out of driving. But for the guy who just wants to have fun on a Sunday morning, it's pure joy. We're seeing a massive shift in how these cars are being used. People are actually daily driving the Ferrari EV. It's quiet in city mode, comfortable and easy to park. The Revuelto is still a bit of a theatrical production every time you go to the grocery store. Urgency check. If you are looking at the Q2 2026 launch window, you need to be talking to your dealers now. The allocations for both of these cars are being snapped up by VIP clients. The Ferrari EV is especially tight because it's their first step into the new era. Ferrari is only producing about 2,000 units in the first year to ensure quality control. This is peak FOMO territory. I've seen people offering $100,000 over MSRP just for a build slot. It's madness, but that's the supercar world in 2026. It's a high-stakes game of musical chairs, and when the music stops, you want to be sitting in one of these Italian masterpieces. By the way, if you're enjoying this deep dive, hit that subscribe button right now because we have the exclusive first drive of the 2027 McLaren Hybrid coming up next week. Don't miss it. Let's dive deeper into the battery tech. Ferrari isn't using off-the-shelf cells. They've partnered with SK On to create bespoke cells with high silicon content for faster discharge. That's how they get that 1,000 horsepower burst. The battery pack is structural, meaning it actually makes the car stronger. It's 120 kilowatt hours, giving it a real-world range of about 330 miles. Not bad for a hyper EV. The Lamborghini Revuelto's battery is tiny by comparison, just 3.8 kilowatt hours. It's only there for the performance boost and about 6 miles of silent EV driving. It's basically a big capacitor. But that's the beauty of it. It's a hybrid that prioritizes the engine. The battery charges in just 6 minutes using the V12 as a generator. You never have to plug it in if you don't want to. It's the best of both worlds. Or is it a compromise? Some say the extra 400 pounds of hybrid gear ruins the pure V12 feel. What do you think? Is hybrid the perfect middle ground or just a heavy bridge to the future?
Now for the top 3 war. This is where we decide who wins the EU and US markets. In the blue corner, we have the Lamborghini Revuelto. In the red corner, the Ferrari Elettrica. Round 1. Curb appeal. The Revuelto wins this hands down. Those scissor doors and that V12 engine visible under the glass cover, it's unmatched. It's the ultimate poster car. Round 2. Tech and innovation. Ferrari takes it. The quad motor torque vectoring and the AR cockpit are light years ahead of the Lamborghini's more traditional setup. It feels like a 2030 car brought back in time. Round 3. The smile factor. This is the toughest one. The Revuelto makes you laugh because of the noise and the drama. The Ferrari makes you scream because of the G-forces and the sheer speed. But for me, in 2026, the winner is the car that moves the needle. And that winner is... Actually, hold on. Before I give you my final verdict, we need to talk about the secret bonus reveal I promised. I've got access to a leaked document from a private testing session at Fiorano. The Ferrari EV just clocked a lap time that is 2 seconds faster than the SF90XX. Let that sink in. A heavy, luxury-focused EV just embarrassed Ferrari's most hardcore track weapon. This proves that the era of the internal combustion engine being the performance king is officially over. Electricity isn't just for saving the planet, it's for total track domination. This is going to send shockwaves through the industry. Lamborghini is already rumored to be fast-tracking an all-electric Revuelto successor for 2029 because of these numbers. The war is just getting started, guys. So, what is the final verdict for the supercar war of 2026? If you are in the US and you love the caffeine and octane culture, the Lamborghini Revuelto is your champion. It preserves the history of the supercar while giving you modern performance. It's an investment, a musical instrument, and a statement. But if you are in the EU or if you live in a tech hub like Austin or Silicon Valley, the Ferrari Elettrica is the future. It is faster, smarter, and more usable than the Lamborghini. It is the most impressive piece of engineering I have seen in a decade. It's not just a good EV, it's a great Ferrari. The prancing horse has successfully moved its soul into a battery. It sounds impossible, but they did it. All right, legends, that's our 25-minute deep dive. Now I want to hear from you. If I gave you the keys to both right now, but you could only keep one, which one are you driving home? The V12 hybrid bull or the quad-motor electric horse? Type Revuelto or Ferrari EV in the comments right now. I'll be hearting the best arguments. And for the secret bonus, the first 100 people to comment will get an invite to our private Discord where we're dropping the raw 4K footage of that Fiorano lap. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe with notifications on, and share this with your car crew. The 2026 supercar era is here, and it is louder and quieter than we ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.